Doing maintenance on Navien water heater, the short form. You'll need some channel locks, a Phillips screwdriver, a pair of hoses, a sump pump, a bucket, and a bunch of white vinegar. First turn off the water heater, then turn off the gas. Next, I unplugged it. Some people don't, I did. So unplug it. There are 4 screws, 2 on the top front and 2 on the bottom front. Remove those, normal lefty-loosey, righty-tighty situation. Then the lower part lifts out towards you and the top lifts up. You'll remove this intake filter, unscrew this screw and the 2 front ones from this intake and pull the filter out. Mine was nasty. Leaves, all sorts of stuff. Clean it out, but don't get it wet. I just dumped it out and kind of brushed it out. Put the screws back in. And now I had a bunch of cobwebs. So I removed those. And underneath there are 2 fittings for hoses. Mine had covers, so I unscrewed the covers, put the hoses on. The right one is the cold and the left one is the hot, which is important later. And then I closed the supply valves, which are the back valves, and opened the service valves, which are the front ones, the ones towards me. Again, opening the service valve, closing the supply valve. I let it drain for quite a while, but I think I didn't have my water shut off. This is the filter. My camera messed up when I was recording it, so here I'm putting it back in. You just unscrew it, put it back in, and this is the trap. So you pull out this clip, remove the trap. Mine had a ton of gunk in it, like sand. So dump that out, clean it, put it back in place, add the spring clip back in. Now I have this leak in, I'm going to shut off. Whoa! Holy cow, that's the wrong way. Alright, so I put my sump pump in. You need one that has a hose attachment, and then you, again, hook the cold side up to the sump pump, put the return back into the bucket because we're going to be recirculating, and then I put my vinegar in. I had about 2 gallons, 1 big gallon and 2 half gallons. And then just plug in your sump pump and let it run for about 45 minutes. See, here I pulled the return out and saw that was fully circulating. So I put some fresh water in and circulated that through once the 45 minutes was up. Just kind of let that drain. Now I close off the supply and close off the service and turn on the supply a little bit just to flush some water through, leaving the hot side open. Then I closed off the hot side service, opened up the hot side supply, and put the caps back on the hose fittings. This one was a little tricky to get, it's just kind of back in there. And then turn on the gas, plug it back in, it'll go through some diagnostics. And then it turns off, so just push the power. We're back in business. I had it for a couple years and maybe a couple, 3 years, and it really needed it. I hadn't done it since I got it, so definitely recommend doing this every year. I didn't have the sump pump until now. I tested it out before I put the screws in because if you don't, you're guaranteed to screw it up, no pun intended. So screws back in once it was verified working and it was good to go. Happy hunting!